Okay, you guys, so the defense has now rested its case. They are finished with their closing arguments. People who were inside the court are split down the middle in terms of how each side performed. I wasn't in the courtroom, so it's hard for me to call it because I don't feel you can get the emotion based on tweets alone. So we're just going to have to wait to see what the jury decides. But anyway, before we get into this drama, please hit that like button. Now let's get into the mess. Okay, so let's talk about what TMZ is reporting and how they're summarizing the defense's closing arguments. They say that Diddy's a domestic abuser, but no racketeer. They're admitting that he should have been charged with domestic violence, but that is not what this case is charging him with. So Diddy's defense is making their closing argument in his criminal trial, and they are owning the DV testimony, but they say there's no way he's guilty of racketeering and trafficking. Y'all have to jump in the comments and let me know what you think about it. From everything that you heard, is it a RICO? Is it trafficking? What do you think? Marc Agnifilo, Diddy's lead co-counsel, is handling the defense's closing arguments today and told the jurors Diddy owns the domestic violence part of this Cassie and Jane Doe story, but he told them there's no domestic violence charges here. That's not what they're charging him with, so that's what he's standing on. Diddy's attorney says the Bad Boy founder would have pled guilty if he was being charged with DV, but it's a state crime and this is a federal case. And so Agnifilo scoffed at the federal charges his client is facing, saying there's no way Diddy is guilty of a RICO or trafficking of his ex-girlfriends. Now, personally, I have literally heard Marc Agnifilo talk, and I don't think that he holds the attention of the audience the way that some of the other defense team members would, like Brian Steele or Nicole Westmoreland. So I don't know why they chose him, but he is the lead, so that's just my opinion. Agnifilo told jurors this case is about love, and he claimed love had been said more than 800 times in this 7-week trial. Yeah, see, I don't know if this is love. Come on, Mark. You kind of stretching the love part, but okay. And similar to what Agnifilo told TMZ last year after Diddy was arrested in Manhattan, he points the fingers at the feds, saying they're targeting a successful black entrepreneur and going into his bedroom to find some dirt, making light of federal raids that found baby oil and lubricant in Diddy's homes. What we have learned since all of the evidence is coming out, there was no GHB and the baby oil was not laced with any drugs. So that's something that the media made up, and we continue to repeat that lie. But he was addicted to baby oil nonetheless. He cites Diddy's hard work growing his business empire over decades, his diversity choice in hiring before DIE was even a thing. Combs was doing it at 24, and he's talking about, DEI hires, diversity, equity, and inclusion. But I mean, I get that, and that's great, but that still doesn't mean that you can go around here popping up on women and doing these freak offs. So I just don't want him to conflate the issues here. And I'm not making a judgment, but I'm just saying, just because somebody does one thing don't mean they can't be wrong in something else. Okay, Mark? That's all I'm saying. Agnifilo said Diddy didn't bribe or kidnap anyone. Prosecutors say Capricorn Clark was kidnapped for several days when she was interrogated by Diddy's security. But Agnifilo says CC went home every night. CC Capricorn Clark went home every night and joked this was a door-to-door kidnapping. No, there's nothing funny about that, and I don't think that you can act like it's a door-to-door kidnapping and make light of it. If somebody holds you against your will, intimidates you, come on now, let's kind of, maybe he could have phrased it a little bit differently. I don't think that's funny. I don't know. He asked the jury if they felt like they were being kidnapped because they have to go to court each day and then go home. He also pointed out that Clark went back to work for Diddy after the alleged kidnapping. It's like you're comparing apples and oranges, Mark. The jurors are not that simple. I'm just saying. Diddy's attorneys said there's no drug distribution, as prosecutors allege. He says Diddy brought drugs for personal use, but says he wasn't selling the substance. Now, here's the thing about that. If you have any kind of pharmaceuticals, if you get a prescription, it will tell you cannot dispense your medications to other people. You can get in trouble. And if he was giving out drugs like candy, come on now, don't act like it was just personal use. That's an issue. So I don't know what the law is on that, but come on, that's gonna be a problem too. On Cassie, Agnifilo says she ended up with millions from her civil lawsuit against Diddy and tells the jury she won 100-0 against Diddy, who is now in jail while Cassie has millions in the bank. Agnifilo says they had a long relationship with plenty of love and they lived a swingers lifestyle and connected over sex. I think it's more complex than what he's boiling it down to. I think Diddy is guilty of some things, but I don't think he's guilty of everything. But I must say, and I'm going to go on record saying this, you guys, I don't think that he's going to walk up out of this without some charges. That's just my opinion. I think that the jury is going to find him guilty on some things. So that's what they're saying. That was the defense's closing arguments. But then they also go on to say that they kind of paint Cassie out to be like a money grab, like she's money hungry. And some people that were inside of the, listening to this, that came out and reported to us, saying that he kind of painted Cassie as a ho-ho-ho. Okay, so this is another article, again, TMZ. Diddy's defense says the whole criminal case boils down to the almighty dollar, and co-lead attorney Marc Agnifilo is telling the jurors that's the only reason that they're even in court. Money, money, money. Y'all remember that song? Money, 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 money. Yeah, hey, I believe that people will do anything for a dollar. Agnifilo is taking the reins on the defense's closing argument and took jurors back to what the defense says is the beginning of the case against Diddy, Cassie's 2023 civil lawsuit. If Diddy had paid her when she first came at him and done that catch and kill, he wouldn't be sitting up there, but he played her. He should have acquiesced and given her the money, because now look where you at. You're losing everything. As Agnifilo put it, Cassie is sitting somewhere in the world with $30 million, referencing the $20 million settlement in her Diddy suit and the $10 million deal she cut with the owner of the Intercontinental Hotel in Los Angeles, the scene of the infamous beating video. Agnifilo tried to portray Cassie not as a victim, but as the winner, someone who beat Diddy 100-0 because she walked away with a boatload of cash and he's sitting in jail with his life on the line. I tell you guys, this does look like one of those, those movies where it's a big twist where the person is a victim and all humble and everything, but at the end they walk off on the beach with all the money like, yeah, I got your ass. This is what it's turning. This is what it's kind of looking like, okay? Diddy's attorney told you, like, she outsmarted Diddy, right? I mean, ultimately she did. Even though I do believe Diddy abused her, but in the long run, Cassie flipped the script on his ass. So Diddy's attorney told jurors Cassie and Diddy were swingers. Yeah, I kind of felt like that. And that Diddy did not force her into having sex with male escorts doing freak-offs, as prosecutors allege. He said the freak-offs were part of their lifestyle and they had a modern-day love story. I'm not going to call this a love story. This was some sick, twisted ish, which was drug-fueled. It was, that is not love. All of them STDs, and even one of the escorts said that he got chlamydia from Cassie. This is not love. Agnifilo said of Cassie, she's a woman who actually likes X, and good for her. He said she could have left at any point, but didn't. And when she finally left Diddy, nothing happened to her. Well, that's true too, child. You could have left a long time ago, but you stayed until you got tired. A lot of people are saying she really, really left him over the jealousy. And when he made that final declaration of love for Kim Porter after she had gone to the funeral and all that, when he said that Kim was his soulmate, that's when allegedly Cassie got pissed and was like, I'm done with you, mother ucker. I don't know. Diddy's attorney also talked money when it came to Jane. We don't even need to discuss Jane. Jane, you was turning, you got paid before Diddy, okay? So that was, I don't even know, Jane shouldn't even be brought up in this. When she started talking about paying her house note and all of these things, girl, we know what you were doing. And that's fine. Get your money how you get it. But yeah, Jane is a whole nother story. But anyway, it says Diddy's attorney also talked money when it came to Jane, the other ex Diddy is accused of trafficking. Agnifilo said he hopes Jane is having a nice day in a house he's paying for, because he's still paying for it. But Diddy, you a damn dumbass, okay? That's what you get for being stupid over these chicks. Referencing testimony about Diddy paying Jane's $10,000 a month rent. Agnifilo also painted a picture of the March 2016 Intercontinental Hotel beating, suggesting the argument was over a phone, not a freak-off. And unfortunately, one of the escorts who was there that night, he's stating the same thing. Now, I don't know how trustworthy he is, but he's saying the fight started because Cassie got jealous. And if that's the case, why didn't the defense have him up there to testify to that? So, I don't know. But anyway, it doesn't look good for Diddy. That's what I'm hearing. But y'all jump in the comments and let me know your thoughts, and I will see you on the next video.